ranch community. I am the youth leader of the ranch community. In 2022, precisely in December, we had a youth congress, the Becheve Youth Congress, which was organized by the Spotlight Initiative in collaboration with the Ranch Youth Movement. The aim of the Congress was to create more awareness on the child marriage issue, and also to rebrand the image of the ranch, the Becheve community. The outcome of that Congress actually went a long way, where the entire Becheve youths were in attendance, and the information went viral. A communique was reached, and it was signed by the various youth leaders from all the communities in Becheve. Ever since then, several activities has been ongoing, like the creation of the Ranch Youth platform, where it was agreed that most of this platform will be created so as to create more awareness on the negative effect of the child marriage, what it has caused for the Becheve community, and the way forward and how we can tackle it, how we can also assist the affected girls, and also the survivors of this child marriage, to see how they can live a normal life with other girls who were not affected by this tradition.
What changes have you seen in the community and your personal life with some of the Congress and the other interventions? I know you are part of our meetings with some of your youths, and you are encouraged by our meetings. What changes have you noticed in the community and your personal life and sort of our interventions?
On my personal life, we personally have seen a lot of changes. From my personal point, I realize that the girl's child is very, very key, and is very, very important, and they have a very vital role to play in the society. And from that conference, I realized that it is good to engage other stakeholders in order to ensure that such cultures or traditions are being abolished. I've also personally seen changes in different ways of dealing with such issues as a leader. I've also seen changes in my youth, where they have benefited from a lot of this intervention from Spotlight Initiative, where most of them were engaged in skill acquisition training, and that has been able to put food on their table. Some of them are now enlightened. Some of them are also engaged with this Spotlight Initiative, where they work as volunteers. It has broadened their knowledge in regards to social activities, in regards to cultures or traditions that affect both the male and the female counterpart. And they have also acquired knowledge on how to address these issues right from the grassroots, where the locals are also engaged, that is adopting the bottom to top approach of handling these cases.
What areas of support or program which you focus on the plan for the next phase of the project? What areas of support with your youth and so
I think I will call on government, NGOs, philanthropists and the spotlight who had opened the eyes of the leaders, the community members to the abolition of this tradition, to do more, not just abolishing it, but at least to put some intervention on ground so that these people can actually live their lives. For instance, if you look at the entire Becheve as it is well known, you hardly have people who are actually going out there, to acquire one skill or degree or going to school. So we have challenges of lack of education. So I'm calling on NGOs, government, to look at the RCT aspect of it. For instance, if someone passes, we have one secondary school here, and at the end of the day, you discover that someone, a student will pass out, but he doesn't have access to internet, either to register for JAM or take JAM, or sometimes have access to, their results. You realize that someone will pass out at SS3, let me say senior secondary, and he does not even know what a keyboard is, and such a student will find it very difficult to undertake online courses or be able to perform well when such a person is taking or such a student is taking JAM. Also, the survivors, most of them are farmers. Most of them have acquired one or two skills like hairdressing, fashion designing, but they don't have access to most of these equipments that they need in order to put their skills into use. So I will call on government and NGOs to look at that aspect as well. Health is also a very paramount issue, where the whole of the Becheve community as it is, there is no medical doctor, and some of the health center that we have, there is no medical doctor, and so whenever we have issues or emergencies, we always have difficulties in reviving or sustaining those people back to life. So every year, in and out, we encounter where we see people lost their life just because there is no medical services there for them to to access. So most of the time, what we have is just first aid, and then is actually affecting the community. The roads are there, farming tools are also issues where we'll call on NGOs to also intervene. The land is fertile. We have crops like it's fertile for the cultivation of carrot, lettuce, strawberry, cabbage. All these crops do well here, but the locals have this challenge of having access to improved variety, having access to market when they produce it, having access to storage facilities, because most of these products are perishable items. So if NGOs can intervene in these areas, it will be good. Education is also paramount, like I mentioned earlier. There's this issue of lack of teachers. If they can intervene in engaging volunteers to assist in teaching, also providing laboratories, like the secondary school we have, the 6 or 7 primary schools that we have within the ranch here, there is no laboratory anywhere, there is no computer laboratory anywhere. So education is always a very big challenge. The lack of library materials, they are also a challenge. So I'll call on NGOs, call on governments, call on philanthropists to intervene and help the community and the survivors of the child marriage.